Hey guys, Tristan Ogilvie here on the couch beside Lucy O'Brien.
Hello, Tristan.
Hello, Lucy. Back for, well, the final Evil Within review commentary for now until, some new DLC or a sequel comes out and you review it, which may or may not happen. Let's not get too far ahead of it ourselves. Lucy, this is The Consequence, the second of two DLC installments.
That's right. This is the direct follow-on from The Assignment. So we are continuing on with Julie Kidman's story, which runs concurrently to Sebastian's story in The Evil Within.
Right, and for the people taking notes at home, this is the Xbox One version.
Yep, it's also available on PS4, PS3, Xbox 360, and PC.
Now, just let's briefly recap before we get into this. You've been well across The Evil Within for IGN. You reviewed The Evil Within main game, which you very much enjoyed. You reviewed the first DLC, The Assignment, which you very much enjoyed. How did things pan out with The Consequence?
Well, listen, I still think that The Consequence is a good game. It just doesn't quite reach the heights of its predecessors.
Right.
Primarily because I really feel that Tango has tried to tie up too many narrative ends, and the kind of storytelling that is kind of almost insistent in The Consequence.
Just nagging you.
It's really quite naggy.
Yep.
Really feels it sort of butts heads with the actual gameplay.
Right.
So, for example, in this sequence that we're playing now, I say playing with sort of quotation marks because there are so many of these ghostly flashbacks.
Right.
Which gives the story a lot of background and context and what have you, but it also really disrupts the scary flow.
Yeah,
this sort of the kind of the dynamic.
It just spoils the mood.
It really does spoil the mood, and while I totally understand that a lot of people might be invested in the Evil Within's quite high concept B horror movie story, it is really, really, really. Insistent again. I keep coming back to that word. It's really insistent here, and so much of this game is spent just kind of shining your torch on memories and that sort of thing. And I totally appreciate that Tango's always, the Evil Within has always been about shifts in time and space and what have you, but in this instance, it just really does kill the mood a little. And
disrupts the flow of the actual gameplay itself, because the Assignment was very stealth heavy. How is the sort of constant exposition, how does that kind of interrupt your actual progress and enjoyment and input in the game? Is it?
Well, I mean, the stealth is still there, but...
Whoa.
Yeah, so here's a weird flashback to The Evil Within. People will recognize this meat locker from the
Warner Brothers movie world.
From Warner Brothers movie world, from the very beginning of The Evil Within. So yeah, there are moments like that. Stealth is still a focus, but yeah, I do feel that Tango has kind of. It's not as focused as it was in The Assignment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump forward to a section where Julie actually gets a gun, because I'd like to talk about that for a little bit.
Okay, let's do that. So the stealth obviously suffers a bit due to the reduced tension and threat, because you're always just sitting around watching flashbacks.
Well, essentially, yes.
But am I right in saying the gunplay is actually quite enjoyable?
Well, I mean, I do really feel that Tango has sort of thrown up its hands and gone, oh, to hell with it. We'll just give her a gun, which you can see in this instance, which is a shame, because I really did enjoy the stealthy gameplay, and I certainly think it suits Julie's slightly less powerful character,
right?
And it also creates really imaginative enemy encounters, but yeah, in The Consequence they've sort of gone, oh look, Just give her a
Screw it.
goddamn gun. And to be honest, like I really didn't mind. I thought that the gun sections were quite enjoyable. I mean, primarily because Julie is quite a weakened character.
Right.
So she sort of takes. I think it's about 2 hits before she dies.
Right.
Which
Is that was the same as in Sebastian in the main game?
No, Sebastian was a lot stronger.
Right, okay.
So for starters, you were able to upgrade his strength, whereas Julie, there is no upgrading system for this DLC.
Gotcha.
So, in fact, I actually just need to find some bullets. Here we go.
Well, on that topic, ammo is still quite scarce.
Ammo is scarce, and this shotgun only holds, I think it's 7 bullets.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that's what sort of makes it so enjoyable is that if you don't sort of hit your target, then you're screwed.
Whoa.
So yeah, I mean, oh, here we go. In summary, while I would have enjoyed the stealth angle to continue, I don't really mind. I've got no real complaints towards the gunplay because it is a lot of fun. There you go, I'm dead.
Ouch. So we've jumped ahead because we want to show off some of the awesome and super creative environments in the game and the boss fights as well. Lucy, what exactly is going on here?
Well, this is basically what I like to call creepy art installation, coupled with impending death.
Yep.
So basically, I think one of the greatest parts of this game are its environments. The sort of the visual theme are shapes, so rectangles, squares, that sort of thing.
Yep.
I know that sounds silly, but that is actually the sort of thing that Tango is really playing with. They're just so for example, elevators and levels that will shift and areas that disorientate you.
Yep.
And of course, as you can see here, we've got some like real Adrian Lynn Jacob's Ladder inspired boss battles,
yep.
which is so much fun. So there are two main boss battles in the Consequence. One will be familiar for anyone who played the assignment. This one is new. Both of them are incredibly creative, incredibly terrifying, and I will say right there at in the best of the series, basically.
Wow. So I mean, obviously they look cool. You find, and you've played this already, so.
Well, I'm not doing a very good job at defending myself because I'm concentrating on talking.
Did you find these quite frightening?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
There's kind of jerky movements, Jacob's Ladder style.
Well, that's right. Absolutely. Both boss battles here. I'm just going to die here. Both of them are really terrifying, and yeah, I don't want to spoil too much, but. They're real highlights of this game for me.
Nice.
And as I said, coupled with these sort of really creepy, very, very creative environments, that sort of really elevated the Consequence from potential mediocrity.
Okay, so let's put a toe tag on this corpse.
Let's do it.
What are your sort of final thoughts and score?
Well, I think the Consequence at around 5 hours. It's 5 hours worth of a good game. Mm-hmm. I liked the Consequence. It just isn't quite as good as its predecessors. So I am giving it a 7. It is a fitting end to Julie Kidman's story, and I really hope that we see more of the Evil Within in the future because I've had a great ride, and I hope other people have too.
Even though it's a 7, which is not a bad score, it's still a good score, but not doesn't make it a great game by the IGN scale. Would you say that those who've already enjoyed the previous Evil Within games should play this for completionist's sake?
Absolutely,
yep.
Absolutely. I think there's no good reason why you shouldn't. It's just it is let down a little bit by it's over encumbered by the need to finish its story. But I do think that for the most part it's a very enjoyable experience.
Well, this commentary is feeling a little bit over encumbered, so we'll finish it up right there. Thank you very much, Lucy.
Thank you very much, Tristan.
And for all things The Evil Within, stay right here, IGN.